Welcome to Live at the Table, an actual play live stream focused on critical world building, smart characterization, and fun interaction between good friends. I'm your host, Austin Walker. Joining me today, the returning cast of Primetime Adventures, including Andy Clare.
Hi, I'm Andrew. Whoa. Hi, I'm Andy. You can find me on Twitter at Captain Trash, and you can listen to my other show, Emoji Drome, on any podcast app, pretty much.
Keith Carberry.
Hi, my name is Keith J. Carberry. You can find me on Twitter at Keith J. Carberry, and you can find the Let's Plays that I do at youtube.com/runbutton. Also, we've been doing for the past, 3 years, a very slow Let's Play of Silent Hill 4, The Room. We hate it. It's honestly the worst game that I've ever played in my entire life. We finished it. It's been up for the last 10 episodes or so. Been up for patrons only, slowly releasing them. But we're done, and we're going to start releasing all of them. So look out for that. What a bad game. We decided
Great sell, Keith.
We decided that we would rather play Sonic 06 3 times in a row before playing Silent Hill 4, The Room again. It is that bad.
Thank you for your service. I really appreciate it. What is that noise?
My phone went off.
Okay. Tom Whitney in the chat notes that the Silent Hill Let's Play has gone even slower than this game of Primetime Adventures. Art Martinez-Tebbel also joining us.
Hey, you can find me on Twitter at @Tebbel, and I feel just for continuity across these episodes,
Yes.
I should plug one song only, which I think it just started when we did the last one of these.
That is true.
And
Keith asks at the beginning whether or not you will get a full, whether or not he would be able to understand the full arc of Kanye West if he listened to one song only. I now confidently believe yes.
or no.
Well, there is a whole new arc that got added on after the start.
Yeah, we got caught up real quick. I guess there's nothing there about Sunday service, right? So,
Or any of what's been going on with him lately.
wait, what besides the Sunday service stuff is lately?
Well, there was that shitty Kim Kardashian thing.
I don't even know what that is. I missed that entirely. I mean, I believe you.
He's like going on like, oh, when you wear sexy clothes to the Met Ball, it's disrespectful to me.
That's not great. That's
and like,
bad.
yeah, honestly, Kanye. And it's like the night before the Met Ball, he's like, do you want to wear something else? It's like, you're too late.
It's way too late. That's not how that
Anything that's
goes.
happening for the Met Ball happened months.
Isn't he supposed to be like a fashion guy? Doesn't he know that?
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Who
he's
knows
also
what
a
he knows at
gross
this point?
dude.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. We last played this game, or I guess what's more fair is the last episode of this released in the feed January 30th, 2018, which is like 19 months ago or something ridiculous. 20 plus months ago? 20 plus
No,
months.
it's 18, right?
Well,
No.
this one came out in like March 2018, but then the last one did. But we did the character creation even before that.
No, unless I'm misreading my thing right now, I guess it's possible. I was looking at the wrong one.
I did not pay. I wasn't paying. I just thought that I remembered.
Oh, no, it was earlier than that. Truly, I believe. Regardless, the point is, it has been well over a year at this point since we last played. Oh, you're right. April 1st was the second one of these that hit, I think.
And I think the other one was maybe February or January.
It was January. It was
of
the
that
end
same
of
year.
January is when we did character creation. So it has been a minute since we have done anything in Primetime Adventures. We should go over what happened and who everyone is and what the premise is. So if you've not seen any of these before, the premise of Primetime Adventures is that we are playing a television show with all of the form and structure that goes with it. Which is to say that there can be an episode where there are like clear A plots and B plots, clear, protagonists, like lead characters and secondary characters. This is a game that is about characters trying to get stuff and to deal with their impulses that get them into trouble. We started by creating a premise for the show, and that premise, I don't think we've written it down exactly on this sheet in front of me, but basically the premise of this show is that it, one, is a hit show in Bluff City. Two, it's a show about the television show follows a group of aliens who landed on planet Earth in Bluff City, in or around Bluff City, sent there with the mission of evaluating the planet Earth and specifically showing off the good parts of Earth, while their rival team of aliens arrived to show off the bad parts of Earth, and to determine between the two of them, we'll send that footage all back both in the form of kind of like documentaries, to the Alien Council, the leadership of this group of multicultural group of aliens, a sort of like space federation, to determine whether or not Earth should be taken over or destroyed or brought in or left alone or whatever. In order to do that, they have gone undercover as baseball teams, both sides of this research alien group equation. The heroes have teamed up with the Bluff City Blackjackets, a.k.a. the Bluff City Blackjacks, a local baseball team. They are living with the brother of the coach of that team. The coach is Frankie Beanball Bianchi.
Also a player? Is he also a player?
Yes, he's a player coach, yes.
A player manager like Pete Rose.
Yeah, I'm sorry, yeah, a player manager, exactly. And they're living in his brother's converted motel into a motel that's been converted into apartments. His brother, Uncle Ches. And they are also the stars of a local running on-demand reality TV show that is being used to fund the minor league baseball team they play with. That reality TV show is like an antiquing and local, Americana show. This baseball team is going to tour the country because they're a minor league team. And when they stop in small towns and little cities across this great nation, they're going to show what the best there is to offer in each of these places. Have I missed anything core besides the characters, which we'll go over in a second? I think
so.
That's the core. So let's go.
It's a show within a show within a show within a podcast.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Andy, can you tell me who you are playing? Give me your concept, your appearance, your personality, anything else you want to. Also your issue and your impulse.
Right. So my character is Llewellyn. They are sort of, I believe, when I described them, they are a Mothman.
Yeah.
They are a Mothman alien. But gender neutral.
Yes.
Yeah, like a cryptid, but gender neutral pronouns. I want to be clear when I say Mothman.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying that as a species thing. And they're the producer for this sort of the deepest layer of the show.
Are they also the producer for the reality TV show?
I think they were filming it, right?
I guess they were, yeah.
So this is something that I had a question about when I was re-listening, and I think I was unclear on it even at the time, but it didn't really come up. Sometimes it seems like the two shows are one and the same, and sometimes it seems like there's separate shows. Separate edits would be one thing, but it's is it two shows within a show within a show within a podcast, or is it one show within a show within a show?
There's two shows. I think there's a moment specifically where you break the fourth wall to speak to aliens about English or something. Whereas that would not have gone into the TV show that airs on. We talked about it being the reality TV show. It doesn't just air. It isn't just like a regular TV show. It aired on it's like an on-demand TV show that's only available from local Comcast distributor. You know what I mean? Or it's the sort of programming that would air if you go to the TV Guide channel and it just kind of play. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and okay, right. Through the rest of the stuff, I think I described. I did write the specific moth. I compared them to a garden tiger moth. It's more the fuzzier end of the moth spectrum. Because personally, the less fuzzy ones gross me out.
Fair.
Yeah, it's one of my two bugs that I don't like.
Yeah. Personality-wise, I have them very stressed, very high-strung. very easily distracted, moth
Like a moth.
stuff.
Yeah. In fact, high
Um,
strung is your impulse, which is the thing you must resist in certain types of scenes.
mhm.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, my issue is trying to make this a good show because the fate of a planet relies on it. Also, just pressure
Yeah.
from like myself that my work is good.
Yeah. Totally.
Should I go through the personal set and
Yeah,
connections, or
let's
do we
and
want to do
personal
that
set
stuff?
connections and edge also. You may as well.
Right. Yes. Okay. So my personal set is a video editing desk in the half-finished basement of the coach's house. It's sort of Llewellyn's makeshift workspace. Edges, I wrote down nerd, but I think we went more specific than that, right?
No, we super didn't.
No,
You were
we just
just
kept it? Okay.
playing a big nerd.
Awesome. Love it. So easy. I'm a method for this one. Connections are the station managers, the alien station managers, I believe specifically. And then Jack T. Hall, to hell, the very buff alien who is
Yeah.
the ringer on our team.
Yes, Jack to Hell, aka Jack T. Hall. Well, so there's two ringers is an important thing. There's Jack to Hell, who is like the super strong alien. I believe that his type was strong alien when we came up with a bunch of different character types. But there was also Jackie Johansson, who is the previous star of the team who resents y'all for showing up and is like, who are all these rookies? There's also Jackie, the name of the mascot who you play when you're in the mascot outfit, which is basically all the time because of being a moth person.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Did we ever address why everyone else has a human suit, but Llewellyn doesn't have a human suit?
I
Yeah,
always
it is
assumed it was
addressed,
because
yeah.
the wings.
That is how you
But-
talked about it. Yes.
Right.
But also, like, outside of that, looking at this from the production standpoint, I imagine also it would be way more expensive to do, like, actually, maybe not. I was going to be, like, way more annoying for them to hire another actor to do human Llewellyn.
Yeah, you're probably a voice actor, right? There's probably one person acting as I don't know. Do we ever see
Yeah.
Llewellyn out of the bat? We haven't yet. We haven't seen. Oh yeah, we have. You get knocked out of the costume briefly, I think, in the junkyard, which we'll get to when I do the summary.
Yeah.
Let's keep moving. Art, tell me about Frankie.
Frankie Beanball Bianchi is the player manager of the team. He's that's his edge. He's a veteran ball player. He's old. He's done. He's finished.
But he still plays, right?
Yeah. But like this is a minor league team.
Yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't have the stuff for
For the pros anymore.
the pros. Yeah. He's Gandolfini
Yeah.
type. If that doesn't call it up for you, just it's a very quick Google search and it's exactly right.
He is explicitly played by our own Blake Blossom, a character who popped up a few times in the first season of Bluff City.
Sure. And yeah, he's trying to coach this team of aliens. His personal set is the coach's office, which I imagine to be, I think I would describe it as pretty run down.
Yes.
But like the more I've thought about it, maybe like like a Law and Order captain's office,
You think it's like a repurposed captain's office?
like
Like
the set, or
yeah,
like
the set.
in-
Literally
yeah.
the set. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a crime show. They just like they repainted it, had some baseball.
Yeah, they even kept some of the stuff on the desk, on the captain's desk, There's a medal
Yeah, if
there
you-
for some reason.
And if you
There's a
zoom in real
Bluff
close, the
City-
papers say like arrest report.
Yeah.
The Bluff
So
City
like there's like some
mug.
fan theories about it being like very there's been some bad behavior on the team. That's why all these aliens are here.
Right, got it. What is your issue and your impulse?
The issue is doubt, doubting his ability now that he's gotten old and is playing on a minor league team with a bunch of aliens. And his impulse is being unsupportive because he's got that like old timey athlete crap.
Yes. Yeah, he sure does. Who are your connections?
Paulie Patio, the owner of the team, and Ches, the owner of Chez Ches, or as I'm sure it gets pronounced a lot, Ches.
Chess. Yeah. Trying to think if there's any other notes here. You have a son named Sal, who we'll talk about in a second.
Yeah, we'll get to Sal.
And then trying to think if there's any other thing that was important about you. You know that they're aliens. You were concealing that they're aliens, right?
Yes.
All right.
It's. I mean, we could if we want to like retool the show in between pilot and series. That's a thing we could think about. Like if we want to just shift this like a full-on madcap comedy. That's
we could
the way
make
to do it.
Right, that the coach doesn't know. Yeah. We'll talk about that if we want to do that.
Then we have to recast James Gandolfini with John Lithgow. That's my
Keith, you're up next. Tell me about your character.
Hi, my character's name is Keith Carberry. No alias. It happened to also be an Earth name.
Yep. Cool how that worked out.
Yeah. Keith is very small and uses a suit to stretch themselves out. It's like a power suit, and he, I think I described him as gingerbread man size. And the suit makes him full average height. The worst player on the team because he's used to having very tiny little gingerbread man-sized man muscles, and now has to be a baseball player. So he's insecure about wanting to be good at baseball and liking baseball, but not being able to really do a very good job.
Right.
That's my issue, not contributing enough to the team. Impulse closed off. I will retreat within being, grumpy and sad about my position on the team.
Yeah, and then your personal set is a tiny
Personal
room.
Set. It's a weird room inside of a locker. It's the end of Men in Black 2. When they open up the door to the world and they're all just in a locker. Also it's those other people from Men in Black 2 that are in the locker the whole time. The smaller locker. It's a locker within a locker.
Okay.
We're giving away a lot of Men in Black spoilers here.
Those are not plot relevant. That's old movie.
That's a teaser. That's a teaser, not a spoiler.
That's a teaser. Yeah. Wow. People, lots of lockers in Men in Black. I gotta see that.
I gotta see that movie. You have an edge.
Edge. Most suited to antiquing both in body and attitude. I do love to dig around in the trash.
That happened. Color-coded trash, all sorts of trash.
Yeah. That was described as the Templeton the Rat at the carnival scene from the Charlotte's Web cartoon.
That's correct, yeah.
Which for a second when I was re-listening, I didn't realize what I was trying to say. I was hearing web cartoon as one thing.
Me too. At the time, I was like, "What is?"
Yeah, I made the
about?
same mistake that you did. Charlotte's Web animated cartoon.
There we go.
Okay, and my connections are to Sal, the coach's kid, who loves aliens and baseball, that needs mentorship. I can't remember though. Does Sal love aliens and know that we're aliens? I don't think so.
The kid knows.
I think that Beanbag's the only one that knows.
It's not Beanbag.
I think that Frankie's the only one that knows that we're aliens out of all of the humans. I'm friends with Ross and the Boss.
There it is.
The morning Colin radio sports show, the minor league specific. Well, I don't know if that's
I'm
true,
sure they cover other sports. They're just big fans of the Blackjacks, you know.
Right, they're big fans. Yeah, the
Ross Rossi
the BCBJs
and Bossman. Bossman. It's like Bossman something Burke, not Billy. Bossman. I have it in front of me. I could just look at it. I thought
if any lawyers are listening, the similarity of any real life sports radio hosts is completely coincidental.
There is no similarity. You just look the other way, please. Where the fuck did I put? There it is. Bossman Burke Bridges. There it is. Bossman Burke Bridges and Ross Rossi. Great. So those are the characters. Let me just walk us through what has happened already, so we're all on the same page. This is the pilot episode, and it opened with a radio interview with WBRK, the Breaks, Ross, and the Boss, in which things break bad, and Frankie... It breaks bad. Frankie Bianchi responds negatively to a caller, and says that he does not love baseball. He loves the living that baseball has provided for him. And also maybe it comes across like maybe the team doesn't love America. Everyone leaves, everything's chaos. And by the time we get to act one, scene one, there are protesters at the minor league baseball stadium, and Paulie Patio, the owner of the team, has called in Frankie for a meeting and says, listen, if you lose this game against the Bloomington Blooms, we're going to have to have your head. I'm going to have to replace you as head coach.
And kill you.
Probably. Given that Paulie is from the Patio, the infamous Patio family, it's possible. In scene 2, Frankie was coaching Keith, hitting baseballs against Shay Chez's wall. Chez came out and I think wanted more money or something.
Wanted money because we were paying in little chunks of change,
right?
And I made a bet that Chez did not accept, that either we could get our security deposit back right then, or we would double the security deposit that we owed.
And Chez was like, no, just pay your fucking rent, right?
Right.
Basically. Yeah. Cool. In scene 3, on the Black Jackets Team Jitney on your way to Indiana, a very uncomfortable bus ride, Llewellyn was trying to convince the team to wear American flag pins in order to improve their public image, but no one was willing to because of the uniform rules. They didn't want to be fined, and also just because no one liked Llewellyn, even though Jack D. Howe and Keith tried to stick up for them. It just didn't go that way. Finally, going into Act 2, the Team Jitney arrived at a motel in Bloomington, Indiana, where you're set to fight, or not to fight, well, set to go up against the Bloomington Blooms, your rival team, which has some of the other aliens on it.
Well, there's a thing that the other aliens are doing specifically.
Yeah, I mentioned that they're here to prove that the Earth is bad and you should destroy it, yeah.
Okay.
Much earlier, yeah. In the first scene of Act 2, Keith and Llewellyn went to BJ Salvage Emporium, where you were looking for interesting TV-worthy stuff, Keith. And Llewellyn, you were looking for something to build a fake Bloomington Bloom mascot costume. As a reminder, the Bloomington Bloom mascot is like a big bouquet of flowers, like a bouquet of blooms. That is also not is not a costume at all. That is just what the type of alien it is looks like. It looks like if there was a mascot made to look like a bouquet of flowers. Very convenient. The two of you realize you're both doing the same ploy. It turns out the Bloomington Bloom mascot is there and also looking to build or create a fake Bluff City Blackjacks / Black Jackets mascot costume. There's a scuffle, and you wind up flipped away, Llewellyn.
Which is funny. It implies that there's some sort of common dressing up as someone else to make them look bad thing culturally.
It does. It does suggest that, I guess, doesn't it? Yeah. Love it. Actually, kind of great. Then we had another scene, which was Frankie and his son Sal at TGI Fridays. They share some mozzarella sticks, and things are rough. It's very good. Things are rough. There's an attempt at connection, and at a key moment, Sal reveals that by studying the scouting reports, I guess, he identifies for his dad that the opposing team's 3 best hitters always swing when it's high and outside, which is a place the pitch could be. And there's an almost bonding moment, but also Frankie kind of says just at the end, oh, that's good, we can use that. instead of being like, thanks, son. Finally, the end of Act 2 was as the Black Jackets were in the locker room before the game. It came on the TVs that the Black Jackets mascot, but not Llewellyn, was outside riling up the crowd by giving them the finger and trying to tear the American flag in half, at which point, in the real costume, Llewellyn rushed out from the locker room with the Spike Lee dolly shot and the mashup of Kanye West's Black Skinhead and Depeche Mode's Personal Jesus playing, and charged into the fake mascot, beat the shit out of him, and pushed them over the back of a kneeling Jack T. Hell, like you do, like a high school bully would do when pushing someone into a pool. And that is where we left off. Also, you got to run around with the flag, and everyone was excited because you revealed that this was a ploy, that the Bloomington Blooms mascot was trying to trick the audience. It made ESPN, it made SportsCenter, and it looked like Paulie Patio was happy about it. So that is
going viral. That's views. That's clicks.
That's views. That's clicks. That's positivity. And then the thing that I genuinely think happened is that this pilot episode went unfinished for years. I think in the world of the fictional world where this is a TV show, this just sat on a there was a strike. There was a writer's strike. They shot the script that they had. They were writing the script. They were like writing alongside the shoots, you know? They had like basic plot beats, but that's it. And so there's just this unseen, or maybe it ended up leaking out. Is that what happened? Do we think that like this first 2 acts, the first 30 minutes of this hour-long dramedy like leaked out at some point?
Just like a torrent showed up on some like website somewhere. I kind of like that, yeah.
People were like, you got to see it. Like, there's this great scene where they're eating mozzarella sticks. I don't know. I don't know why I sent it to Jay-Z's voice. I don't know why Jay-Z is like, Bay,
you gotta watch it.
Sorry, how does Jay-Z say mozzarella sticks?
Mozzarella sticks. He's always like half laughing. Okay. So what do we do? So we're going to come back in. Does anyone remember how this game works?
A little bit.
Yeah, we draw cards and then you win. I don't know.
That has been the case. It's
a real heads we win, heads you win, tails we lose situation.
It has been that. So the way it basically works is we have to start scenes. We decide first and foremost, do we want to make a character scene, which is a scene where a protagonist is dealing with their impulse and their issues, or a plot scene where a protagonist is trying to get something and the drama is, will they get what they want? We're going to Act 3, and so I should just read from the third act, like, hey, what's up with the third act? What should we be trying to hit with Act 3? Just when everything seems to be taken care of, which is definitely the case right now, you've pushed over the mascot, what more could you do? The third act introduces yet another problem. The villain they were after turns out to be working for an even more powerful villain, or what appeared to be a case of burglary turns out to be linked to a string of unsolved homicides. Action in the third act should continue to escalate and scale. Act 3 often ends with an epiphany moment for one or more of the characters, a revelation about why things have been happening the way they have, or why it's been difficult to resolve certain problems. Of course, I know what we need to do. We need to get back to the boathouse. Something like that. So, does anyone have an idea for a scene? We can also always talk about general structure. Like, in the past, we were able to be like, oh, well, I want to do a scene when we get there, but we're not there yet. So if anyone else wants to do a scene before we leave, blah, blah, blah. So yeah, let's just open with this. Does anyone have an idea for a scene?
I think we should really get to the bottom of these. Haven't heard about him yet. And
you cut out there, Art, and it sounded like you cut out exactly when you did your punchline.
Yeah, it's fine. We'll just
keep on moving.
That one's
fill in the blank.
Yeah, I mean it's on the Audacity, so you'll hear it on the feed.
You will not. You will not hear it on the feed. Lives don't go in that way. We just keep those files just in case, so that if we ever want to do something like what we're doing with Partisan, with Road to Partisan, we have the original files.
Well, then I guess in like 40 years when we do like the Friends of the Table anthology box set release, it'll
Yep.
be on there.
Yes, when we go back to the Masters, exactly. Does anyone have a scene?
I have an idea. I'm not like tied to it,
Uh-huh.
but we could have the first example you gave, the bad guy's a worse guy.
Yeah.
There could be something there with the tapes that we're getting sent that we're sending back getting like re-edited, or the before it's getting played for the people that are meant to decide on whether this thing's going down.
Do you think that's a first episode thing? Especially
don't know.
at the top of this. I guess we should just restate where we're at, which is like the baseball game was about to happen. So maybe that's the frame we should be working at.
Oh, right. Yeah.
We were like
It
before.
seems so climactic.
I
We were
know.
already on Sports Center.
I know. Well, we jumped ahead. We like did a flash forward to show that, but yeah. Maybe we think about that as a cut in. Like this just in, and there was just a fight. How goofy is that shit? But no, I think Act 3 should be probably happening at this baseball game. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. We have to do the baseball part.
Right. Like the big stake for this episode was if you lose the game and also continue to, fans will be upset, and if the fans are upset, Frankie is fired. On top of your personal stuff, which is got to make a good show, which has not been happening great for Llewellyn, and have to like figure out how to contribute to the team for Keith.
What if the Bloomington aliens were able to get more like the suits have to be restrained in a way so that, you know, we have the physical strength of human people. We talked about Jack to Hell being incredibly uncomfortable in his suit because of how much bigger he actually is than the incredibly strong, muscular guy his suit makes him out to be.
Right.
Maybe we're up against suits that are stronger than they should have been.
Like they've taken their restrainers off.
Right.
So yeah, is that the who is so are you proposing a scene where like that gets revealed? Like we come back from break and who's your pitcher? Are any of you the pitcher?
Yeah, Frankie's the pitcher.
Okay, so is this a Frankie scene?
That's why it was the high and outside.
Oh, right.
And that's why his nickname's Beanball.
Right, of course, totally. Then yeah, is this
maybe you were the catcher? Could have been the catcher.
Are you a relief pitcher, or are you out there pitching like from the jump?
I think it like fits better if it's a starting pitcher.
Okay.
Sort of like Kevin Costner in that movie.
Rookie.
Is that it?
Yeah,
He's old though, right?
Yeah, he's an old rookie.
I was trying to think of a
He got
joke.
scouted at like an open tryout.
Field of Dreams. No. Has he been in multiple? How many baseball movies has he been? Bull Durham? Do you mean Bull Durham?
Bull Durham.
Not the rookie?
No, I'm pretty sure it's the rookie.
Well, what's Bull Durham about?
I think it's like a. I have no idea. That's the one where the lights explode, right?
Crash Davis, a veteran of 12 years in the minor league baseball, is sent down to the city. So this is him coaching a hotshot rookie pitcher, whereas the rookie, starring Kevin Costner.
It's Dennis Quaid, not Randy Quaid. It's Dennis Quaid.
Okay.
Costner's been in 5 baseball movies, and none of them are the rookie.
No, well, Dennis Quaid, Kevin Costner, it's very similar kind of guy.
The energy is there.
Wait.
I understand.
But wait, so it's not for love of the game, the movie where Kevin Costner plays an aging baseball player?
It's probably that one.
It's probably that one.
I can't believe why is this happening?
Because the rookie's like the opposite, because it's an old guy who gets drafted to a AAA team and then gets called up to the majors for a brief career.
Wait, you weren't kidding, Andy. That 5 number is correct.
Yeah, no, I counted.
I thought that was a bit. I thought you were just doing a joke bit.
No. Sorry. Yeah, I went on Wikipedia and counted. There's a section.
There's
called
a section.
Baseball.
For Love of the Game is directed by Sam Raimi?
Yeah,
Okay.
that Sam Raimi.
Okay.
Okay,
This might not be bad.
we need to have a scene. Someone needs to take the Bull Durham by the horns.
I'm just spitballing. We can do anything not tied to this. No one else said anything, so.
Don't look at me. I'm just the producer.
Well, we have to have the high and outside, but it might not have to be this scene.
That's probably the end, right? That's probably the end of this series of, like, it has to be you. I guess either it's that information doesn't help you at all because they've taken their restrainers off. Maybe that's actually the second twist, right? Like Keith has suggested that they are not playing by the rules, that they are swinging harder than they're supposed to be swinging. And maybe that is the twist that we introduce right away, is that, like, you're on the mound and are like, hey, this is no big deal. I know how to read their best hitters. Right?
Sure, and they're just hitting the ball anyway.
Tell me tell me what, do you want to do that first and foremost? As the first scene of
that sounds like a fine.
Okay,
yeah.
so we come back from commercial break, and there's Frankie up on the mound taking a stance. Everyone's coming out, picking up the grass, doing the stuff with the grass that the baseball players do. Is this a character scene or a plot scene? This is probably a plot scene.
Yeah, it's a plot scene, right?
Yeah.
Because
you want to strike out these fucking pitchers, or these not the pitchers, hitters. Yes.
Pitchers are easy outs. They don't take batting practice.
They do not. All right. Where is this? This is in this characters, location, and action. So characters, obviously, it's you. It's probably just a you scene, right? I don't
All
think
the other characters are there, right?
Yeah, but they're not going to hit a
like,
crisis moment.
No, they're playing in the baseball.
Yes, of course, yeah. But not in this particular sequence where you are pitching.
Right.
Or I guess they could be, because there could be a hit that they catch or something, right?
Yeah.
How does that work? Let me look at this up again, because when you build towards crisis, does it have to involve everybody? Build towards a crisis. In order for the scene to go someplace, you eventually have to test the protagonist. To get to that point, you need to put pressure on their issue. I guess there's a thing we never really talked through, is whether or not multiple characters in a single scene can have a crisis. Has anyone in the chat played Primetime Adventures and remember this?
Yeah, in the first episode, we only ever had one crisis per scene, and it was always the person whose scene it was.
We had multiple. There were definitely scenes where everyone played cards, though, and we had different results. We're like, because one of the things that happened often, Keith, was that you would end up with a better result than other people, and so we got this great like recurring bit of like, everyone loves Keith J. Carberry, the baseball player, but everyone hates everybody else.
Enough to protest.
Enough to protest.
All the baseball.
Cut out again, Art.
That's fine.
We went months and it didn't happen.
I'm just throwing up the junk balls now anyway.
Okay, great. I'm trying to see if anyone in the chat has answered this. I don't think so. Yeah, we definitely did it that way, but I'm now seeing this where it's like the crisis should be... I'm trying to figure out if that was right, basically. If you can have multiple crises per scene, if that was correct. As I was for real about to say out loud, let me check Google+.
Sorry.
Pour one out.
Wait, did you do that? Was that you?
Is what me?
Did you shut it down? Why'd you apologize?
Oh, so just like sorry from my heart.
Right, okay.
To Google+.
Yeah. For the sake of simplicity, let's just do this as just a Frankie thing. This is the pitching scene. And maybe there will be another sequence where it's much clearer that there should be multiple crises, but this feels like the crisis is, can you pitch them out? Does the thing work? So tell me about Frankie pitching. What's
Sure.
your
Just
style?
an aside,
Yeah.
the whole Wikipedia article on For Love of the Game.
Yeah.
And it sounds like a real piece of shit.
Uh-huh.
It just doesn't sound like a good movie. If you're
Sorry,
listening
Sam.
to
Oh, I
this,
thought there was more coming. I thought you were saying there was something specific in there worth noting, besides it just sounds bad.
Well, I think the thing worth noting is if you
sounds
thought
like
it sounded
shit.
interesting because Sam Raimi directed it, maybe skip
Gotcha.
it.
Yeah.
or if you're like Kevin Costner, John C. Reilly, J.K. Simmons, I'm in. Don't do it.
That does sound good.
By the
No,
way,
don't.
happy birthday, Sam Raimi.
Is it Sam Raimi's birthday?
Yeah.
Oh, it is. 59.
Wow. All right, so tell me about Frankie's pitching style.
All right, I think it's just like, I think it is. He's old. He doesn't have his fastball anymore, so he's kind of like a junk ball pitcher at this point. He throws like a lot of curve-ups. He's probably got like a is it pronounced ephus?
What is that?
It's like it's a ball you throw, no spin.
Huh. I don't
But I
know.
might
I
be
didn't know
pronouncing
that.
it wrong.
I believe you.
Ephus, Euphus, who knows?
How do you spell it?
EPHUS.
Well, that's a Greek city that I spelled. I don't know what that is. Anyway, let's keep moving. So you step up to your at the pitcher's mound. The first batter is there, who is one, like, out the gate. They're bringing out one of their heavy hitters, and they are ready to knock this shit out of the park. Do you know the other aliens? Have you been briefed?
Like, that makes sense.
Yeah, like they've pointed.
Why would the aliens not tell me about the other aliens?
Good question. All right, so you know that this is going to be one of the ones who always hits high and outside. I think we just jump right to the pitch. I think like pitch one is a foul ball, right?
Yeah.
Pitch two is
because he's throwing it real far, high and outside. It's like he's throwing balls basically.
Right, and they swing on the first two fouls in a row. So you're close to getting the strikeout here.
Yeah.
The audience is nervous. They really want the first up at bat to go well. So we've set the scene in motion. At this point, we should do the card mechanic to remind ourselves what the card mechanic is.
You just don't want to take it for granted that they're just hitting the ball?
No,
I don't know what the conflict
I
is.
guess so.
Yeah, okay.
I guess so, right? It was the conflict that you notice it? Or is it
It'd be a
conflict...
great way to notice that if like the skin of the ball flies off and the ball is an obvious home run, like just a really, really, really long shot.
Yeah, so then maybe that's what it is. Maybe the first one is just they devastate it. It's just gone. And it's like, oh shit, what? And they are swinging high and outside, but they're also hitting with such ferocity that if you give them anything regular, they are going to just destroy it.
It's like if every other scene was shot as if it was a traditional like American TV show, and this one pitch was shot like a sports anime.
Great. Yeah, totally. That is like you're changing genres. So then what do you
like
think?
the big exaggerated sweat drop?
Yeah. So then is the crisis then like the second batter steps up and is like even more jacked than the first one. It's like, oh fuck.
Yeah, and I think there's like, it's like, oh, I could just, it doesn't matter how hard you hit it if you can't hit it. I just gotta dodge them basically, right?
Yeah.
Or it's like, I could rely on the team.
Right.
And try to I could just start throwing it real low.
Totally. So like this is a moment where, you know what? Here is maybe one of the things here, right? Is that the scene has been set in motion. Other players, other protagonists can spend fan mail to join the scene. is this a situation where that would be a way to get them involved to, like, address the crisis? You know what I mean? It's like, well, okay, now if you're going to lean on them, they should spend fan mail to get involved so that they can affect the crisis.
Right, but I guess it's like, I want this to be like also a Keith scene. Like, we'll induce a bunch of ground balls, and Keith Carberry can throw them out at first base.
Right, that's
Keith
what
Carberry
I mean.
double play.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So that's why I'm saying, like, Keith, if you spend a fan mail, you can then show up to a scene after it's moving along, but before the resolution. And then, so that'll be the thing here. It's like, and also that connects to Keith, your drama, right? Which is like, oh, wait, maybe you're not so good at hitting, but maybe you could be good at fielding the ball, right?
I do like to swim in trash.
You do that. You do.
Does that help?
That is how
That does
baseball
help.
players learn how to field.
That,
yeah, they
that
swim
does
in
help.
trash.
Yeah. All right. So if you spend a fan mail, where does that
Sure,
go?
I don't have access to my chips.
Oh, do you not have access to this?
No.
All right, well, I'll move it.
I don't think we did last time either. You were just like,
I was just dealing with it. Okay.
Yeah.
I did change the card size for this time so that it fits better, which is good. Fan mail spent automatically returns to the budget. All right, so I get that back.
What do you do with your budget? That's something that I didn't pick up on when I was re-listening.
That's how I add cards right now.
Right.
So I go up to 11 budget. So here's how scene resolution works. Done that. Build to a crisis. Deal the cards. All right. Once you've hit the crisis point, it's time to play cards to see if the character either handles the pressure or succumbs to it. If it's your scene, you draw against the producer to see if things go well for your protagonist or not. If it's not your scene, but you have a protagonist there, you can draw cards against the producer, but you don't have to. There we go. You're allowed to be part of it, but you don't have to be, because it can go bad. It's sort of like the Powered by the Apocalypse, help or hinder rule of, like, you can help, but if you do, there's a chance you get hit by it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I'm going to shuffle cards. Here, shuffle. Boop. And let me recall and shuffle just in case. All right, shuffled. Then you deal one card to the producer face down. Then I can get additional cards by spending budget 1 point per card. I can spend up to 5 points to get additional cards. I'm going to spend 4 points here. So I'm going to drop from 11 down to... What is that? That's why am I blanking on math? 7? Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. Phew. Then protagonists, you'll each draw equal to your current screen presence, which we didn't talk about before, but everyone's screen presence in the pilot episode is 2. So let me get my 4 cards first. These all come out face down. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then each player gets cards equal to...
Should you have 5 cards? Because you have
you're
to
right.
start with
Plus
1.
I start with 1. Yeah, good call. Thank you, Keith.
You're welcome.
Teacher, aren't we supposed to have homework? Didn't you say there was going to be a pop quiz today?
Oh, sorry. Next time I'll just lie and cheat.
Thank you.
So you now each get 2. But I guess not each, because Andy, you're not in this scene, right?
Yeah, I don't. Cause I'm not a player. I'm just
right. You're just the mascot. Yeah, duh.
Yeah, can I spend fan mail? I guess.
Yes, you can influence this for sure. So both of you get those. Now, if you have traits that might apply, you can use them for 1 extra card each. Your traits that are relevant here, Keith, you have in the call.
Maybe it's a YouTube.
It was
problem.
It came right back this time.
Okay, cool.
But maybe that's a bad sign. Maybe I'm about to lose connection. Yeah, I think we're fine. It was just YouTube being weird. I didn't lose internet connection. I didn't lose any connection at all. But it does say no data on YouTube, so I'm going to blame YouTube on this one. Anyway, Keith, you can use. So Keith, you don't have. The only things that you have are
any applicable skills.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Art, you have. Sorry, Frankie, you used your veteran ball player twice.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
I'm hoping to use Poly Patio here.
The team owner. How are you going to use that?
Team owner.
What is your reasoning for using Polly?
I think, I'm Yeah, I'm getting a sense things are going badly. That
Yeah.
something's wrong. I see Paulie Patio, who we've had this like quasi-adversarial relationship over the last few days, and he's out of owner's box and he's cheering full-hearted for the team. And
Okay, he's like on
makes me
board.
feel like there's like a unity here.
Okay, sure. Nice. I'll mark that in this current scene. Also, wait, what scene are we in? We are in
Scene 1 of Act 3.
So that's like, so wait, 1, 2. So this was the intro, right? Wait, fuck. Was the first? Oh, you know how I can do this for sure? All right, so we are in
This should be the
2,
7th
3, 4,
scene.
5, 6. No, it's the 8th because we had an intro
There's a separate
scene.
intro.
There was a separate intro, and I know this because Andy has Jack marked in the previous. Like I can base it based on where Andy made her last thing. Boop, boop. I'm just gonna add these things here. That way we know exactly how many more scenes we have. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Is that right for everybody?
I thought we only had 3 more scenes, including this one.
No, we have 2 acts, and each act is 3 scenes.
Oh, I thought that there was only 3 acts
4
in the
acts.
app.
Nope.
Wow.
That's why we're gonna keep moving. That's why I'm like we should hustle. Sorry. So you're using Team Owner, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right. So that gives you 1 extra card. Are you also spending fan mail?
I don't have any fan mail to spend. I spent the fan
Yes,
mail
to get involved.
into the scene.
Yeah.
The question that I had was the audience pool. Is this what the
No,
audience pool
that is
for?
where you can. That is the pool from which you can award fan mail after a scene.
Right.
I'll spend my fan mail. Yeah.
Okay.
I can't interact with it, but
Yeah, I'll just
spend.
pull it. I will pull it down or off thing for now, or just go back in. I think it goes back in. This is me checking to see if it goes back in. Spend as much as fan mail as you want. Any cards bought with fan mail that count as points become budget for me. Do you know what it is? It's
It's red cards.
yeah, it's red cards, but it's my budget becomes new audience pool.
Oh, right.
When I spend budget,
Unless
spent
it's-
budget goes into audience pool. So I'm just gonna make 4 over here. I'm gonna put those in as soon as the scene is over.
Got it.
Okay, so then you spent your 1, right, Art?
Mm-hmm.
So I'll put that over here because that needs to be separate. Fan mail cards. Andy, did you say you were going to?
So if I spend fan mail here, it would just sort of help them with this.
Yeah, it'll give them
challenge?
1 more card that they will.
Yeah, I'll spend one of mine here. I have
Okay.
2 of them.
Are you giving it to Art or Keith?
I will give this to Art because we established Keith had a lot of success last time.
Okay. Boom. Okay. Are we ready to flip these cards?
I want to be clear, in case anybody listening forgot, my success was all no, but the second to worst thing that you could get.
I'm trying to get us a yes, but at this time.
That's true. I did get 1 yes, but you were the only person that got a yes and the whole last game. No one
Oh,
else got
damn.
one.
Damn.
Yeah.
Damn. All right. All right. I'm gonna flip these. Can you interact with your cards?
Yes.
Okay. You right click them and then you hit
Yeah.
flip. Boom.
Bad.
Oh boy.
Bad.
All right. Hey. Art has more reds than me. So, all right, count up all the red cards, hearts, and diamonds. I have 2. I have 2 hearts. Art, you have 3 hearts. Keith, you have no hearts, or no reds, rather. Look at the highest card you have. Aces are high, and your highest card is and then it's alphabetical order: clubs, diamonds, hearts, spades. So ace of clubs is high, then ace of diamonds, and ace of hearts, and ace of spades. I have the only ace out, right? Yes. So
Yes.
I have high card, but if you have more red cards than the producer, and your highest card is higher than the producer, that's yes. And in this case, no, it's more red cards than the producer, but the producer's highest card beats yours. The answer is yes, but. And because it's a plot scene, this is Art, you're getting yes, you get what you want, but your impulse is provoked. And Keith, you're getting no, you don't get what you want, and your impulse is provoked.
Yeah.
So, Art, let's talk about what this looks like for Frankie.
Yeah, I don't. The unsupportive impulse is a hard one to do when the scene you've painted is about getting the rest of the team involved in the game here.
Is it like?
It's like he grinds into a double play, and Keith Carberry has like a really good, diving cat. Like he dives to get the ball and turns the double play, and like is just not and just it's just Frankie does not acknowledge him at all.
It could be both ways, right? Because Keith, your impulse is you close up, right?
Right.
So like you don't get. Well, also Keith does not get what he wants, so that suggests he misses the ground ball.
Oh, so how do I turn this in? So like Keith misses the ground ball, and like the third baseman gets it or whatever.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
And
what
that's
position do you play, Keith?
I don't know. Shortstop.
great. Keith plays
So, like,
shortstop. Yeah.
Keith dives for it, misses it. The third baseman gets it. The third baseman turns the double play, and Frankie just starts yelling at Keith.
Oh.
Ugh.
Oh. That's brutal. Give me a taste.
It's just like, what's the matter with you? You can't hit. You can't catch. What are you even doing out here? There's no antiques out here. I ain't that old yet.
Oh.
Antique is like 70, right? That's when something's an antique.
Is that how that works?
I don't know. There's certainly antique has a definition. I know that.
God. As a reminder, any
100. Antique has to be 100 years old.
Okay, gotcha.
Wow, really? That's old.
That's pretty old. Yeah. What did I say before? It's red. Any successful fan mail cards become budget for me again, right?
Oh, so
If there's
both
any
of mine-
red fan mail cards.
Yeah, it was the two successful ones. So yeah,
Right.
so those two there do go back into budget. But yes, but my spent budget goes back in, so that's a bunch more in the audience pool. I think that's the end of that scene. Does anyone want to give anyone else fan mail?
Hey Keith, good effort.
Thanks.
I'll give you a fan mail. Boom. And I will recall all these cards and shuffle. So things are looking kind of like in the middle then, right? It's like you managed two outs in this first inning. Or you said it was a double.
Oh,
you actually, yeah. Go
I
ahead.
can give Art a fan mail too.
Oh,
Right?
you totally can.
Yeah.
Everyone can give one fan mail.
I was in the scene, so I shouldn't. But that's
No, you
not
totally
exactly
should.
not how it works.
Yes, definitely. All right, so Art, that was your scene. Andy and Keith, give me some
I'm
more.
gonna go feed the dog.
Okay. Can you hear still? Do you want us to take a break?
Just don't do anything that involves me.
We'll do.
I was also muted because I was sneezing, and I wanted to say, could I also give Art a fan mail because of that antique line?
Yes, of course.
Okay.
Oop, that goes there. Boom.
Okay.
Be right back.
So we were doing a scene with either.
It's either
Keith
you
or I?
or Keith. Yep.
Okay.
I have a scene idea. I don't know if it needs Art though.
Yeah.
Yeah. My only idea is like more based around Keith than Llewellyn. Just because it's a little hard for me to think of like. aside from cutaway gags, like if a TV
Oh.
show would really go focus on the mascot right
well,
now.
maybe we zero back in on the thing that Keith introduced, right? Which is like part of what we learned from that last sequence is that the Bloomington Blooms, the aliens and the Bloomington Blooms are cheating, right? They are using their full alien strength. Could you get involved with trying to stop, like, reveal that or, like, interfere in some way, record it, like, prove it, like, get the alien council involved, something like that?
Oh, man. Yeah, I think if we get... Oh, my God, there was a... What was the... So I'm not super knowledgeable about baseball, but I remember recently, I think, there was a, like... I'm not even sure if it was a controversy, but people were looking into something about, like, balls being, like, made in a different way that makes them fly further. I think I remember something about that. It could have been on the side, actually, a bat problem.
I don't
know.
Sure, absolutely. People learn how to cheat many different ways in sports.
Exactly. So I think if we, like, find out that they've been, like, switching the balls we're supposed to pitch with like these super balls that get hit really hard, like really far when they're hit, that could be something.
So how is Llewellyn investigating? Like, let's start with you being like, I think they're cheating, right?
Yeah. So I think this is happening probably
Like, we can go abstract on the game, right? Like, the game is a long game of baseball. I don't know how long a minor league game is, but probably pretty similar.
I think it's still 9 innings.
Yeah, okay.
They've been tied for a while, though.
Yeah.
I was just thinking that if Jack the Hell is like the designated hitter, he could be coming with me if he doesn't need to be up there anytime soon. Like if this is happening concurrently with the pitching.
God,
maybe?
I mean, it might be a situation where it's even funnier if it's like Jack's like turn in the lineup is coming up, but has agreed to sneak away with you, and like people in the booth are like, we don't know, viewers at home, we don't know where Jack T. Hall has gone, but let me tell you, he better get back soon because it's going to be his time up at the plate soon, and these Bluff City Blackjacks really need him.
Jack, I promise, we'll be back in time. Just breathe. He's very nervous right now.
I'm very nervous.
Okay, so I saw the mascot, like, bringing this weird bag in to the locker room earlier, and you may be asking, Llewellyn, why were you spending so much time focused on this mascot? You showed the world what a fraud they are.
That is exactly what I was about to say, Llewellyn. How did you know?
I am a journalist, I'm an investigator, and more importantly, I am a truth teller. And so for my my documentary, I needed to get footage of them crying in the locker room. But instead, I discovered that they were, I think there's some shenanigans going on over there, and I need you to help me get into their locker room and not get moth napped.
You know me and you are tight, and I'll do anything for you. But it's got to be quick, okay?
As quick as we can be. Okay. I'm super fast. You know that.
Very. Let's go. And so it's just like montage shots of the two of you sneaking through the hallways.
It's very Scooby-Doo.
It's very Scooby-Doo.
In my visioning of it, like they're like not actually very good at being sneaky, but it's just a lot of hiding behind corners and having okay timing.
Totally. And I think like it's like cut between that and the game is continuing, right? And so it's like pitcher at the mound throwing the ball, and then like the batting order is like keeps coming up, and it's like, all right, and this person was struck out, this person made a run, this person got thrown out on third, and like Jack's name is getting closer and closer to needing to be up. Also, there's at least one moment here like while you're trying to sneak around a corner, we cut from sneaking around the locker room area to back into the field, then back in the back rooms and back in the field, and then we cut back one more time and it's like Jack signing an autograph for a security guard, and then we cut away again. Then we come back and you're finally at the locker room. The crisis here is definitely like you're in the locker room looking for something, looking for proof, and you hear footsteps coming or something, right? This is a plot scene, probably, right?
Yeah, probably.
This is definitely
We're
deep in
trying-
plot mode.
We're trying to sort of like, this is involved in winning the game.
Yes.
I feel like anything under that umbrella we can call plot relevant.
Definitely. I'm going to spend 2 budget here, so I'm going to have 3 cards.
Can I ask real quick the difference between a plot and character scene mechanically?
Nothing.
Got it.
It's all about what the focus of I mean, that's not true. It's not nothing. The mechanical difference is how you read the results. In a character-based scene, a yes means you've resisted your impulse, whereas a no means you give into your impulse. So if the interesting thing about the scene is it doesn't matter what the result is, but it's about how the character handles the result. The thing that you're interested in leaving up for grabs is whether the character like gives in to the thing they're trying to push down inside of themselves or regulate inside of themselves. Then that's a character scene. You know, it's not does the team win, it's how do you react to losing, right?
Oh, I see the chart right here.
Yeah. Whereas the plot side is the thing that is the character going to get the thing that they want, the specific like action or outcome, you know?
Right. So character scenes, like the major thing is the impulse, and the minor thing is the intention of your actions.
Yes.
And then it's flipped for plot.
Correct.
Correct. Got it.
You might win the game, but you get, you become a huge braggart afterwards because you weren't able to control your impulse, whatever it is, you know?
Yeah.
So, Andy, you start with 2 cards.
Yeah, and I think for this one, I'm going to use my Jack to Hell connection.
Yeah, is that your last one?
How many times can I use that?
Oh, you in fact cannot use it. You've already used it. So Jack is here in the scene, obviously. You have your nerd points still, and your showrunner boss alien points still.
I you know what? I'd love to use my nerd points.
All right, how are you using your nerd points?
Could you use both of those? Those both seem applicable.
Totally, you can use as many of these as you want.
This is you being the showrunner by like managing.
Yeah, actually, the boss alien one might work better because this is like, oh, I'm getting some very good footage from this.
Do you in fact call in like a lot? Do you basically call them up and be like, take a look at this? Like, live stream style?
On like whatever their equivalent of a cell phone is, with like holding it between my shoulder and my cheek while filming this, and also looking through a bag.
Yes.
Yeah.
Totally.
That's great.
Yeah. I think they're like garbled. They're not garbled. The whole thing we suggested with them was like there's like a council. There's like a shadowy XCOM style, like Overlord style thing. And so they are like what is Llewellyn your given name? Is that the name you use?
Yeah,
okay.
I think so.
And so they're like and also you were like the whole thing with you was you were already on Earth, right? You're like you were the nibbling of an established Mothman, like a cryptid Mothman. All right, so
the one that we know and love.
Yes, of course, the culture's Mothman.
Arthur from The Tick. That the Mothman we know and love.
The Mothman, from Fallout 76, everyone's favorite. Llewellyn, why have you called us?
Hey, so we've got some really interesting and fun developments. I thought you guys would want an update. So, first of all, we've got another group of aliens trying to sabotage us. Made for some really entertaining stuff. I'll be sending you guys a rough cut soon. Anyway, just wondering if you guys would be interested in this. Right now, I'm shooting, I guess it's kind of like found footage.
In the locker room, literally. Yeah.
Yeah. And I was just wondering, if you thought it would fit. I know it's a little bit more experimental than the typical documentary stuff we've been doing, but Blair Witch really pushed the envelope, and I think we can do the same here.
And I think at that moment, Jack says, like, Llewellyn, come and look at this. Let's do some. So, are you spending any other points here? Is anyone spending points here? You spent. So wait, you got one more for the board. You didn't spend any of your nerds, right?
No, I didn't.
All right, so that's just over here. And did you spend fan mail? You're holding your
I'll
fan
spend
mail.
this fan mail too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Boom. I'll pull that over there. And put one of those there. Is anyone else spending fan mail? Art, are you back?
Mm-hmm.
Are you? Is anyone spending fan mail on this moment?
No. No.
Okay. Ready to reveal?
Yeah.
All right. Flip cards. His last one better be a red. It is. Okay. I got 2 reds and the ace of clubs, the highest ace. This is at least the second time I've drawn it. You got 3 reds, which means this is a yes, but this is a you get what you want, but your impulse is provoked. What was your impulse again?
My impulse is high strung.
Okay.
So
What do you find? What did Jack find? And does the council now see?
I think it's got to be something more than just stuff they were using to cheat with baseball.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like,
Is
that's
it?
the twist here?
Yeah, totally. Well, no, because the twist is that your impulse is provoked. You get what you want, right? So you
Well, yeah. I guess I just mean like in terms of the twist that provokes
your
impulse,
yeah,
right?
okay. Yeah, totally.
Maybe just think of what it could be.
Is it something tied to your issue? So your issue is the pressure that the show is good because if the show is bad, which is to say, if the alien audience isn't convinced that Earth and Earthlings are dope and that they shouldn't be eradicated, they might get eradicated. So what if it's like something really like disconcerting or like scary about Earth that they have found that sets off this pressure? Do you know what I mean?
Okay.
What if it's like, what if Jack is like, oh, I found this hollow recording, and then hits play on it, and it's something terrible.
Oh wow, yeah, but like, and then it's just like an existential crisis of like, oh god, I have to show this because I have to have,
Right.
you know, I have to have transparency. I have to be honest with
They're
this.
on the phone with you as you speak, the video phone with you as you speak, but also, yeah, you would have also have found that they were cheating, right? You would have also found, it's like you found their strength restraining belts and the correct baseballs that you're supposed to be using, and also in that locker, some other thing. Again, it's 2007, 2008 is when this game takes place. What is the thing that would depress aliens enough to be like, man, fuck Earth? I mean, there's plenty.
I'm trying to think.
A history book.
Yeah.
I think they know all that stuff, right? It's like it's the show is a show that is airing in America, which means they have to pretend that the history of America is not as fucked as we know it is, you know?
Right.
But it is
Because
a
they have no
piece.
stakes in.
Right. Yes. Is it Ice Cream Jones with the Macross pool says proto-culture? Very good. Or is there a totally different angle here that would have made Llewellyn feel high strung?
The other angle could be like discovering that they are also being commissioned to do like the opposite of Llewellyn.
Oh, like we haven't, like Llewellyn didn't know about them? Oh, the thing is we do know that they're aliens because in the last scene, Frankie said that he knew they were aliens.
Oh, well, I know that they're aliens, but more specifically that they are also filming a documentary with the purpose of being, we need to blow up the Earth.
Right. Whereas you thought they were just other aliens here to play baseball.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, I kind of like that. It's just like a montage of like news events from the last 20 years or something.
Oh god.
Right?
Yeah, no,
And-
it's something, it's
and then
real
it's
bad.
the big Rose mascot, like on the recording, the one that you beat up, or the bouquet bet mascot, being like, as you can see, Directorate, there's nothing redeeming about this planet or its people. We advise an immediate extermination.
nothing. Let me tell you, what's nothing. There's nothing redeeming about your editing style, Bucko. Oh God. Okay.
This is a recording. I don't know why you're responding to it. Jack is listen, Llewellyn, I gotta get back out there. I'm up at the plate, and oh boy, I gotta run, and just like jets, and leaves you with all this stuff.
Abandoned in my time of need.
All right, Keith, it is your scene as the baseball game continues.
Oh, this is rough. Okay.
Also, wait, any fan mail for that scene?
Oh yeah, I'll give Andy
a fan mail.
Andy a fan mail. Yeah, totally.
Yeah, me too.
All right.
Thank you.
So
Oops, I should have deleted these. There we go.
So while this is going on, the baseball game is also just happening.
Yeah, you tell me what the score is. Like, I think it's probably even, right? Because that's how.
It's even.
It's well. Unless
they've got super home run batters going on.
I was trying to respect the result of the art scene, which is that like you're keeping up with them but struggling.
In my head, it was like instead of being 10-0, it's like 8-5.
I think it has to be close. It has to be like one inning.
Close-ish.
I know it's close-ish, but like it has to be within one. It's TV, and the stakes of Art's not role, but Art's turn that Art succeeded at was whether or not he could successfully.
That's true.
Pitch, right?
Okay, so regardless, my idea is the same. We've got to pull ahead. You can't win in a tie. It's baseball. It doesn't work. Also, we were not told if you don't lose, then you'll keep your job. It was if you don't win, then you're losing it.
Yes.
Those are Frankie's stakes. So,
and at this point, Frank has been yelling at you.
Right. Well, I was
bad.
trying to. I want to switch. I want to switch up how we're playing, or at least how I'm playing.
Sure.
In the first act, second act. In the second act, no, first act. In the first, in the first act, I was doing my batting practice, right?
Yeah.
And I was alternating between big swings and bunts. I was practicing both.
That's true.
And then later on, actually, I think 2 times later on, Frankie told me that I couldn't even bunt, which is his fault because he's the one that's supposed to be teaching me. But I think that if I'm going to be a help at all, I've got to stop trying to swing for the fences, and start trying to just reliably get on base.
Okay.
And you don't need any muscles really at all for bunting.
Even your
just
little
have
muscles
to hold
will
the bat there. Even my little ones.
Yeah.
So I think I'm gonna try actual real bunts.
All right. So what's this look like?
We're playing 1920s baseball now.
What's this look like as a TV show? Like when we cut away from the locker room and come back to you, how does the audience see you stepping up to the plate? Or like what is as a TV show, what's this look like?
I think it looks like the funniest thing about a bunt is when
even before you bunt, just like
no,
Keith
this
comes
is
out
part
of
it.
the.
This is part of it. I have to wrap back around. The funniest part of a bunt is when, which I think is an inherently funny way to get on base, is like the second where it goes from, because you don't want anybody to know you're about to bunt until the second that it happens.
Right.
So the moment where it looks like they're going to swing the bat, and then instead they just like hold the ball and like boop, and then it goes up the line. What is it? What's the thing between the bases? Whatever.
Yeah, it's like a line drive. What is the? But that's not a line drive. Is a drive.
No, line drive
not
is a straight.
A line drive is describing the path of the ball.
Yeah,
and
that's
the
not.
lines on the side of the field are different.
That's a different thing. Yeah.
Well, the path of the area where people bunt into, like up third or towards first, like halfway.
Yes.
So I think it plays into that and tries to frame it in a way where, like, here he comes. Keith is gonna try. This is where he goes and he does the big swing and he gets the good hit. But then the frame immediately lowers from like a or raises from like a nice like a the triumphant camera angle.
Yeah, of course.
Switches from that to a very sort of stark like bunt up from the batter's box to the from the dugout to the to home plate. Like that's the frame.
Right.
Of, like he's gonna go and swing for it big, but doesn't, bunts.
All right, so I'm gonna spend 2 budget, which means I have 3 cards, 6 budget left. You start with 2.
I'm using my fan mail, absolutely.
Okay. Anyone else using fan mail to help?
I'll use one of mine.
Okay.
Just got 2 of them. Might as well.
Bop, bop.
None of my things apply unless
Yeah.
I've been getting extra coaching from Sal.
Oh, that's actually possible.
Yeah?
You know, that Sal is one of your traits, and we did establish that Sal was studying tips from some sort of scouting report or minor league baseball magazine or something, right?
Minor League Monthly?
Yeah. So it's possible that we get like before you go out, or like we go like sometime earlier in this sequence, Sal was like in the dugout with you, whispering something in your ear,
Yeah.
or being like, no
one's ever bunted to them before.
ever, not once.
They probably know what a bunt is, but no one's ever. Oh no, Sal doesn't know about the aliens.
Does not know about the aliens, but does know that you're like little compared to most people in terms of your baseball playing stature. Doesn't know that you're a tiny alien, but does know. And I definitely think he's like, us little guys got to stick together.
Okay, all right. I'll allow it. Yeah, give me another card.
That's how it works. All right, 1. There's Act 1. There's Act 2. This is the last scene of Act 3, right? All right,
Yeah.
That is your last use of Sal. You do have one more. You call on your friends with call-in show trait one more time. All right, but that is not a. Wait 1 second. Wait. These 2 need to be over here.
They have. Okay.
Yeah, because those 2 are the 2 that we drew for your what do you call it? For your fan mail. Fan mail cards have to be over in the fan mail thing, so that I know whether or not they add back
I
to my
only
budget.
had 1 fan mail token.
Andy gave you another one.
Oh, great! Thank you,
That's
Andy.
why you have 5
problem.
cards. All right, ready?
All right, ready.
Let's flip them.
Red 4, black 9.
Fuck, I drew 3 red.
5.
Oh,
King.
you've already lost.
I have already.
But you have high card.
Oh, you have the high card.
You have the high card. But I have 3 reds. I don't get any budget from this, which is good for you because you didn't draw any reds in with your fan mail cards, but I did get 3. So when the producer, if you have as many or fewer red cards of the producer, but your higher card beats the producer, the answer is no. But this is another plot scene. We didn't say that. We should have said that. It sounded like it was a plot scene.
Yeah, it was a plot scene. This mechanic is a little weird because like a lot of scenes are both at the same time.
The book gets into that. If you read the book,
Yeah.
the book is not blind to that fact. It does not ignore that fact. But it is about
It's definitely
framing
which
stuff.
one's more on a
The key is
sliding
the
scale.
key is is that what we should be doing is addressing it before we reveal cards at the very least. And are we sure this is a plot scene?
Yeah, it's a plot scene.
But it was right. This is like we're not talking about your closed offishness. We were talking about what you wanted from the scene. So no, you don't get what you want, but you keep it together.
Yeah.
So tell me what that looks like.
The cards were pretty close, right? So I think that I bunt and it goes where I want it to go, and I run to the base and I get thrown out, and it's close. I think
Okay.
it's close, and I do feel okay about it, even though I'm out.
Right. You don't like everyone
think it
claps
feels
for
like-
you because it's a good. It's actually like, is it a thing where it's almost a feat of fielding that they get you out at the last second?
Yeah, just like fractions of a second. If it had been 3 inches further away, maybe I could have, or I probably could have gotten it. But I think the big thing is like, oh, this feels like an option.
Right.
For
Is it
Keith.
enough for someone to have argued with the umpire about it. You know what I mean? Not the umpire. The is that are they all called umpires?
Umpires. Yeah, they're all called
Okay.
umpires.
Is it enough? Like, is it close enough where someone could like get in an umpire's face over this?
You know, I a couple weeks ago I watched a lot of people getting thrown out of baseball games by umpires, and so yeah, absolutely, they will. Umpires will throw someone out of a game for anything. So yes, I'm saying yeah.
But do you? You don't because well,
No.
no,
I think
okay.
that I think that I know that I was close. But if you were like the manager in the dugout and you were watching it, it maybe could have looked like I got it and was safe. But if I don't push it, then they probably wouldn't push it either.
I'm thinking about
And if I'm also
how do we wrap this act where you've now not gotten on base and done the big heroic thing, but you've kept it together in such a way that like you are overcoming your impulse to close up, but also the act is ending, so it didn't go well for you.
right. Is it boring to just say, like, I just don't look like I'm angry and pouting?
No, I
for
mean I
the
think there's
first
plenty of
time
ways
in
to
a
show
while?
it where it's like you come back in and high five everybody in the dugout. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
I guess
Smiling
I'm almost
and-
looking at Frankie here. Frankie, is this a situation where like you feel like you could give Keith like the pat on the back, or like are you still
Pat on the
pissed?
back and like, you know, next time square your shoulder.
Right. Yes, which actually pays off literally a thing that you said during the training sequence in Act 1, where you like get that approval at least.
And if I was still being closed off, I would have said what I said last time, which was my shoulders were square.
Right. And this time you say,
Thanks. Yeah. But in
Got
a
it.
good way.
thanks.
Both shoulders facing.
Thanks, yeah. Cuts to commercial. Like, tonight on the 11 p.m. news. Did you hear this thing
Will they
about...
ever find young Sheldon's killer?
Tonight on the
That's
news,
CBS,
time
right?
paradox. Yeah, I think we decided this was an ABC show, but yes.
Whoa.
Oh, did you
CBS
not
is
mean
covering
the
it up.
Sheldon from Garfield?
No.
There can be a young Sheldon from Garfield. He's in an egg.
Pre legs?
What a great show that would be. All right, so...
Everyone has to protect his egg. Sorry.
All right, we are moving in.
Love that joke.
You're allowed to love jokes. Right here at Friends at the Table. All right, here we go. We are going into the final act, the fourth act here, where we will resolve the problem one way or another. There are lots of ways to resolve problems, I guess, right? I will read from the book as they describe Act 4. Act 4 provides the climax of the episode, a final confrontation with the problem. In this act, somebody wins and somebody loses, and most often that happens as a result of the protagonist's choices. Both the main story and the subplots should reach a point where, although they may not be resolved for good, someone involved has either gotten or not gotten what they wanted. Who wants to kick off Act 4?
We need like at least one more baseball one, right?
Oh yeah, right?
Yeah. Like yeah, that definitely
Basically,
wasn't the end of the
what do
game.
we want to hit? So, like, and also, I'm going to get to narrate a denouement scene because there is no spotlight player. If there was a spotlight player, that player would basically get to do an aftermath after the final of these scenes, but I will instead. So what are we going to need? We're going to need another baseball scene. We're going to need something that extends or establishes that the question of whether or not the Earth will be destroyed at the end of the episode. And whether or not Frankie gets fired, right? Because we kind of just got resolution to some degree on Keith.
Mm-hmm.
Well, in other words, we shouldn't now wrap back around to Keith being closed off again or something. So the dice could
Keith
show
isn't
that.
allowed to be in cards anymore yet.
No, that's the thing, right?
If it happens, we'll figure out how to play
Yeah,
it.
we'll figure it out. So who has a scene idea?
Beginning of it, can I get just like the Cliff's Notes of the Andy scene I missed?
Oh, yes. Andy, do you want to describe it?
Yeah, so the my scene was discovering that the other team is cheating with like juiced baseballs that they've swapped out our regular balls for. So when they hit, they are more likely to sort of get either an extra base hit or a run. And when I was doing that, I discovered that the other alien crew is also making a documentary, but with the express purpose of destroying Earth, as opposed to saving it.
I hate when that happens.
Yeah.
But have we foiled their cheating? Could we have a foiling?
We could have a foiling their
scene?
cheating scene. We could definitely have that. Yes.
Because I got a yes but on that, right?
Yeah,
so
totally.
I did discover it and like find out about it.
Yes, because Jack was like, "Oh my God, look! Here's the real balls that we're supposed to be using."
So we could start a scene with like me giving they like actual baseballs
Right.
back to I swear to God I almost called him Beanball.
Just like showing up with a duffel bag over your back. Again, as a reminder, your character, despite being a moth person, is always in the mascot suit, and the mascot we described as being kind of an old-timey man, sort of like with a cowboy hat on and the Black Jackets uniform on, because that's what they thought Black Jackets meant. The mascot makers are like, I guess it's like a cowboy.
Yeah.
Great. So it's you with a duffel bag walking down the hallways of the stadium towards the dugout.
Coach, I got something very important I need to show you right now. And then Llewellyn empties all the balls out on the floor.
On the floor in the dugout, the camera. We get like the sports camera, like wide angle, like sweep over towards whatever's happening and zoom in and kind of refocus. Is this a character scene or a plot scene? Is this how you're dealing with an impulse, or is this do you get what you want?
I think this is how the immediate aftermath of dealing with the impulse there, right? Because that was
Okay.
the end of that scene.
Yeah, so you think
was.
character is what you think.
Yeah, I'm thinking more of
Yeah.
a character scene
Yes.
here.
Yes. Okay. Because you're gonna show that they're cheating.
Yeah.
Yeah. Regardless. Yeah. Okay. So who's in the scene? This is now you and Frankie, right?
Yeah, and anyone else in the dugout who wants to be
Sure.
there.
Sure. So there's baseballs everywhere. Jackie Johansson is like, "Hey, mascot, watch where you're dropping your balls," and like turns around and high fives someone.
Hey, you should be thanking me. These are the real ones. And big dramatic arm like gesture, real theater kid shit, you know. And like with like hands on her hips, she's like, or they're like, so I did it. I solved it. There they are. You're welcome.
I'm sorry. I just feel like I'm playing catch up here.
We're playing baseball.
No, I'm playing baseball.
You're a mascot.
Sure are, coach.
You're running in here and balls all over the floor.
Okay, right. I guess Jack didn't get you guys up to speed, huh? That's fine. It's fine. I'm used to this. So, right, these are our balls. I put stickers on a couple of them. I didn't do all of them. It took too long. But there's a couple you'll see. They've got stickers in there. These are our real ones. You'll notice that when you pitch the ball and they hit it, it seems like it's going really far today, right? And like, I know that happens sometimes, but this is like a lot more than usual. They are using evil balls, and these are the good ones. And you're welcome. You should make sure you use one of the new ones next time you pitch instead of the old ones.
Okay. Here's the thing about how baseball works.
Mm-hmm.
I don't bring the ball out there. That would encourage cheating. The supplies the ball.
So,
You see, if you look real close, the home plate umpire has a pouch of balls on his waist.
all right, I gotta hold on. Llewellyn starts picking them back up. You should have told me that I had to bring these to someone else before I did my reveal.
I didn't know.
So
Okay.
I didn't know about the reveal or that you had a bunch of balls.
I'm surrounded by people making excuses. No one's willing to take responsibility for anything here. I can't work under these conditions. And they're ready to storm out.
they're like,
I'm not sure you work for me.
Jack stands up. Jack's like, hey, everybody. I think we should take a breath. We got to inform the umpire. This is also the 7th inning stretch. I've decided this is the middle of the 7th inning stretch. That's why we have all this free time right now. Jack is like, we got to get out there. We got to show these balls to the umpire, and they're going to make it right.
Good plan.
Jack, I've never heard you say that long a sentence before.
I'm a little fired up.
I like it. I like it a lot. Okay, Mr. Pyre, and Llewellyn's waving.
Oh no.
All right. Is this the crisis moment? We've now moved to the crisis.
I believe you can tell because if this were an episode of Keenan and Kel, this is where Keenan would have yelled, "Oh, here it goes!" Oh, guys, Kel yells, "Oh, here it goes!"
Yeah, Kel.
And then walked off the stage.
Yep. Okay. Andy, I start with cards, right? I'm gonna spend. This is big. I'm gonna spend 3, so it drops me down to 3 budget. But that means I have 4 cards.
I'm definitely using my nerd point here.
Oh yeah.
And then I'm going to use my last fan mail.
Okay.
And I will give a fan mail?
So that means... Okay, so Andy... Start with 2, then you get a nerd, then 2 fan mails. 1, 2.
Something that we did miss was Art's ability to award fan mail for Andy's turn from before.
That's true.
We get a bank. Art's extra fan mail bank.
If you want to go back and give Andy another fan mail, that's fine.
I'll accept it. I'm not going to object.
I thought I did do a fan mail.
It was when you were gone, Art.
But the scene ended when I was here.
Oh, you're right. You're right. You were
mic and
back.
said yes.
You were absolutely back. We did do that. We
Okay.
did do that.
Did we do fan mail? Never mind. Did we do fan mail for the scene after that, though?
I think
I don't have any fan mail, and I was the only one in the scene.
Maybe we did not do fan mail. You can retroactively give Keith fan mail if y'all want to. I'm not here to
I'll give Keith a fan
I
mail.
need to let these points flow. This is the economy of the game. We have a lot in the pool, so all right.
I figure since we're getting towards the end too, the more cards, the more fun,
Absolutely,
right?
yeah.
So should I flip these or?
Let's flip them.
Okay.
As a tip, yeah, you can shift.
Whoa,
Wow!
nice.
Holy shit! All right, we.
Fuck.
Wow! I was like dancing, and then I saw another ace.
Austin has pulled an ace almost every single
Oh no! Oh no!
turn. It's
All
still
right.
good. It's still yes. It's still yes, but
no, it's it is. It is.
Right?
Yes,
It
Art.
is.
Yes,
It
it
is.
is. It is.
Yeah.
Whew. I thought I drew 3. I thought I drew 3 reds. I was so
No.
upset. All right, I'm back up to 4 budget because you drew a red in your fan mails. All right, so, so what did we get? We got you win, but you get a butt, right? So you resist your impulses, but there are consequences. So tell me what happens. You go out to the umpire.
Yeah. Hi. I'd like to file a complaint.
Whom are you?
Oh, sorry. Llewellyn, I'm the mascot. I kind of do some PR work for the team
Hey,
as well.
Beanbag! It looks like you lost your little stuffed your doll. You lost your troll doll out here.
Excuse
I'm not
me.
responding to that name.
I'm sorry, you lost your Mr. Beanbag. You lost your what were the little collectibles? What were the collectibles called? The stuffed ones.
I'm not doing this.
The stuffed
Mr.
ones.
Pyre, we need to
Who?
talk. There's
Who? Mr.
Mi-
Who?
There's a problem with your balls.
Excellent. Okay, buddy. Okay, pal. You know what? You're ejected. You're ejected. Get out of my ballpark. Talking about my balls. Get out of it.
I've never felt so disrespected in my life.
You just dump the balls all over.
Yeah, I do actually. You took the words right out of my mouth.
Just everywhere. The camera is following this nightmare. The other team is shooting it on their camera phone. It's 2007. They probably don't have that ability.
Phones.
They have phones. Definitely taking snapshots. You get ejected. This is the consequence. But you do resist your impulse, right? Which was what? Your impulse would have been
High strung, which
strung.
Probably would have just been fighting it
would
more.
have, yeah, absolutely come to blows. Your dugout is like, that's right, Llewellyn, get him, Llewellyn. Yeah, just rapid zooms, rapid like close-ups on people's faces, and as always, we shoot your mascot face like it's a human face. Like there,
Of course, I was gonna say like dramatic like rack zooms on everybody, and the last one is the unemotional mascot face.
Can we get a confessional after the fact line from Llewellyn about this sequence? It's just like, it does like the Arrested Development thing where the audio ducks from the actual like footage, and then it's you talking, and then Arrested Development does that sometimes. Anyway, you know what I mean.
So I've been told that I have a tone problem. At least Jack has tried bringing it up a couple times, but you know him. He trips over all of his words. I wish he'd just enunciate more. Anyway, I thought I did perfectly fine there. But if Empire doesn't want to listen to me, then I don't know. He's one of Jack's friends anyway, so maybe he can sort it out next time.
Great. All right.
Jack is the only person that Llewellyn likes.
Yeah.
No. Jack is the only person that Llewellyn will talk to without them walking away.
Yeah, that's what it seems like. So, 2 more scenes here. What happens? What do we think?
Oh, we need to smack the Empire's ball bag on
God.
the way out.
Yeah. True. Oh, yeah. Is that what happens? Do we get that? Is like
I dump the balls on the ground and steal his supply.
You grab his and you drop it on the ground and it bounces. Like it bounces up in the air like you spiked a basketball.
Oh my God.
We don't know what we're
gasp from the crowd.
Yeah, exactly. We don't know what we're seeing here, folks. It sounds like some folks in the crowd are suggesting that umpire Dewey may have loaded balls. And there is like the 7th inning stretch continues for longer than it's supposed to, as the other umpires are called in, and there's an investigation. I think that this might be a
2-week-long 7th inning stretch.
Exactly. Like this might be a situation where the game gets suspended for investigations.
Oh man.
And then we'll either resume or get called in our favor at some future date, thereby avoiding the potential loss, but also not giving a win.
Right. Like exactly. But it like deflates the question of who wins the game, right? It's like a wrestling match early on in the build between 2 rivals, where like you can't have an actual outcome.
Wait, why can't you have an actual outcome?
Because they're
not going to pay to see the match later.
To see the pay-per-view. Yeah.
Wrestling's
Wrestling's weird. It's like
Oh, so they do. So a lot of the show is free, and then the rest of the show is pay-per-view.
No. It's like in the build in wrestling, a build happens.
The build, not the bill.
Yeah, not the bill. The build. Okay. So over like a month or two, when you're building the rivalry between 2 wrestlers, you have them in tag team matches. You have them in weird gimmick matches. You have people run in and interfere. You do all the stuff that prevents you from seeing who would really win in the fight. And then that pays off in the pay-per-view where you finally get whatever the match is. And that match might also have a gimmick or whatever, but the expectation is that is going to be the climax of their rivalry.
Yeah.
And so that's what's happening here. What is the term for when something like this happens in wrestling again?
It's a schmaz?
A schmaz, yeah, okay. I knew it was a schmaz something.
Schmaz.
It is, it's schmaz.
That sounds like one of those fake, 2 different sauces mixed together that Heinz sells.
So then we had 2 more scenes here. And now that the baseball game has been indefinitely suspended, we could do anything we want with them.
Well, we didn't find any treasures.
I guess that's true. We could cut back to Keith, you doing a local Bluffington, Indiana, either treasure or novelty hunt, or like, we're here with Bluffington, Indiana's biggest cow, or something like that.
Keith Carberry.
Moo.
Biggest cow. Oh, this is great. They'll link this up back home.
But that's the shit that you do, because you don't even go to, like, you're constantly going to minor league baseball team locations.
It's like saltiest taffy in the state.
But you're not even in Jersey.
Oh, I don't want to eat that.
You're in Indiana. Is Indiana known
Jersey the home of the saltiest taffy?
You're in, yeah, God. Oh, is Bluffington? Wait, is this a real place? Not Bluffington, sorry, Bloomington. Is Bloomington, Indiana,
it's
known
Indiana.
for anything? What is
It's
it
known for being where one of my friends went to college.
I don't think you can do a documentary episode on it.
It's got a famous opera house. Yeah, there's a famous opera house in Bloomington.
Oh, little
right?
Bub, the famous cat, the internet cat, is from Bloomington. What's in Bloomington, Indiana? Let's pull this up over here. 21
Nobody
things. Okay, here we go. 15 best things to do in Bloomington. There's a winery. There's a university. There's a Tibetan Mongolian Buddhist cultural center. I want cornier stuff. You know what? We need to go to like number 30. I need to go to page 2.
We go to the winery because they didn't invent alcohol
In Bluff City.
No, not in Bluff City. In the
alien world, right? We go to it. Yeah, that's true. You could do that. There's a community theater. We're here at the Bloomington Community Theater. Wait, barbecue train. It's not an actual
the
train.
birthplace of Mick Foley.
That's we're on the pro wrestling
Sam's
stuff.
Club.
You're not going.
I looked at TripAdvisor 15 things to do, and one of them was a library, one of them was a costume collection, then it's like Sam's Club. There's a Sam's Club there.
God. Let's pick one of these and do that. Up to you. It's your scene.
What were the last couple that were on your list?
Hold up. I pulled up Atlas Obscura. Here we go. This is what we should have done to begin with. 6 cool, hidden, and unusual things to do. Here we go. Empire Quarry, which is like a limestone quarry. Nightridge Space Observatory, which is like a cool-looking observatory. This observatory is pretty cool looking. The Garret, which is some sort of building with geological specimens. I'm getting to the good one. The Kinsey Institute. Okay, no, moving on. Here we go. Bloomington, Indiana's famous brain sculpture. There's a giant brain sculpture. Real thing in Bloomington. Or the Slocum Mechanical Puzzle Collection.
I don't want to do Slocum anything.
Or we could do Biggest Cow or Sam's Club.
Here's one that might be nice.
Mm-hmm.
We could go to the observatory.
Yes.
And it could be just for the human audience, it could just be a nice, like, astrological lesson. But for everybody back home, we're like, look, they've got these big telescopes. We can see us.
Keith, you should look at this. You should look at the screen so you can see what this observatory actually looks like.
Okay, all right. Let me hit the live button.
It is. There's like a Hello Kitty graffiti, and it says "Hello Satan" under it. It's like rusted.
I think I have to
it's like
refresh.
Deep in the woods. Like, this is actually great.
I'm not seeing this on the thing. I think maybe you don't have the right thing up.
Do I not have the right thing up? What do y'all see? You can't see.
Oh yeah,
it.
the chat says we can't see it either.
What do you see?
I see Andy's cars, Art's cars.
Oh,
Keith's
weird.
cars.
Okay, wait 1 second. I'll pull it up. It's a shame. I was showing a bunch of stuff. Yeah, here it is. Let's do a walkthrough of this terrible, rusted out, great brick.
Still can't see it.
Still roll 20.
Oh, god damn it. There we go. I hit transition, and now you can see the vulgar graffiti that's on the screen.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Well, this is made up, and so it's nice.
Oh, you don't like the idea of being like, here's what passes
This
for
is
their
what they think of science. here.
and alien technology.
No, it's nice. Why is this on Atlas? Yeah, you can praise this fucking totally junked out observatory. Wouldn't that be fun? It would be...
It's in like the middle of the woods. This is some Silent Hill shit. It's
Yeah,
great.
It totally is. It's also slightly more interesting than some Silent Hill shit.
Oh, the
too.
thing that happened is Bloomington got too big.
So they trashed their observatory?
There was too much light pollution. And also it was an old observatory, so yeah, they abandoned it.
Okay. So this one's the new one and it's built further away.
Okay. Got it.
It's nice. And it's the thing that I said.
Oh, they moved this telescope to New Jersey. The actual telescope that used to be there is now in New Jersey.
So that's close. That's
close.
Now closer to reality.
Yes. In this world, it's been turned into like a space museum.
So I think the people back home would get a kick out of the idea that even by accident humans could look up through a telescope and see them.
Yes.
And I can do it. I could do it with a couple winks and nods to where, you know, it doesn't even have to be a separate edit or anything. Everybody will just understand, like, oh, you know, can't say, hey, we're looking at the alien home. But
Right.
they all know, you know, where
get
they
it.
live.
Yeah, definitely.
They know their address.
People in Bloomington can, you know, look to the skies and wave at anyone who might be watching.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, what is this? Is there a crisis here? What is the crisis? Is this like just how good is the show?
Well, I think the crisis is like, you know, like, do people give a shit about this? Like, if this is like, yeah, I guess it's kind of, is the show good? Because the consequence to is the show good is that the planet gets blown up.
Yeah. So, is there a big?
They don't care that they can be seen by these people on Earth. If it's not important to them, or that it's not cute that they have these telescopes, it can look across the stars. Then
is the heart of the scene whether or not you resist your impulse and close up because you're nervous about this, or is it that for now at least they don't blow up the Earth?
It's the second one.
So this is a plot scene, probably.
This is a plot scene.
As a note, if you fail this, it's probably real bad.
That's
right.
Fine. That's fine.
Should be a real weird final scene if you fail.
Well, I don't know that, you know, it's cumulative. It's like the first bad episode, they blow up the Earth.
Well, at that point, it's like, is that better than to be a character episode where it's about, where the focus of the camera is, you know, at the top of the thing, there's a voiceover that says, that it's you saying, like, I knew that one bad thing wasn't going to cause them to blow up the Earth. But what I wanted to do is make sure that I came across as someone friendly that everyone at home could like. Do you know what I mean?
No, I think it's plot.
But then what is the stake? So what happens? What happens if you fail? If you don't get what you want, what is the consequence? Because it can't be nothing happens.
Yeah, I guess.
And we kick it down, because at that point, what we're doing is, like, at that point, the sequence should be about what is up with Keith J. Carberry's, like, character stakes. If it's not about actual plot stakes, is it about you get better funding if this goes well? Is it about the other people getting some sort of obstacle put in their way if this goes well?
That's possible.
In other words, I don't have a clock.
Special...
This game doesn't have a clock system where I'm going to tick it one step closer to they blow up the Earth if you fail. So we need something material that doesn't happen or that does happen based on the plot sequence outcome. Otherwise, we're just hand waving it, because if we play this game again in a month, it's going to be like we need some particular stake that isn't just it didn't go well last time. You know?
I guess with that I could do it as a character scene, but I would like to figure, like, I would give you a bigger stake to it, but I don't know what the stake is. I don't know how to
what is the thing
establish
that you would
stakes that are not too high.
Oh, is it about them making a particular demand or sending someone down to like monitor you, like the introduction of a new, like they're like, okay, we're gonna have to send someone down from like an oversight committee because we don't.
Yeah, maybe because of the cheating, like someone had to help them. Probably they
Right.
probably have someone back home that's helping them cheat. Maybe like and maybe the council doesn't care really. Like they're not.
So maybe
like,
is that what it is? Is that
this is a perfunctory like event as far as they're concerned? At the end of this, the Earth is getting blown up. Like this is a like guilty until proven innocent
yes?
affair. Maybe this is where that could switch by being like
Where you're
well,
opening the
it's-
door for independent counsel or something.
right, yeah.
So then, yes, and the plot thing that you want is, and this is why you should consider, letting, going into step 2 of an evaluation.
Right.
And sending someone down to basically make sure the other side is being fair about what their depictions are or something.
Yeah.
Which lets me introduce a new NPC if we pick this up again,
Yeah.
Or
Or PC.
or PC, totally, absolutely. So
Oh, that would be fun.
that's plot for sure. What am I spending? Let's see. I'm gonna spend. We have one more scene after this. I'll spend 2 budget, so that means I get 3 cards. 1. I'm just gonna spend 1 because I want to see what this last scene is gonna look like. So I'm only putting out 2 cards. Boom. Is anyone else in this scene? I guess Llewellyn could be in the scene since
yeah, as the producer.
they are the producer, but they don't have any. Oh wait, no one gave Andy fan mail for that last scene.
Oh, yeah, totally. We
Oh,
just
no,
kind of rolled
definitely.
over it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We skipped the step.
Yeah.
I will toss one Keith's way
Okay.
for this scene then.
you
'Cause,
were
yeah,
not-
it makes sense that Llewellyn would be there filming it, right?
Yeah, totally. But
Yeah, we don't have like a real crew, right?
no.
Oh, I guess
No.
we do. We have, so we did get the.
There
no,
are
we
other
didn't get the
aliens, but we
guests
didn't.
or whatever.
Yeah, we don't have anything else here that suggests that. No one else has them as a connection, right?
Yeah.
Are you?
And we did in the first episode have the thing where Llewellyn was like trying to figure out how to film and record audio and produce
Mhm.
the scene at the same time.
Yes, we did do that. Are you spending any of your fan mail, Keith?
I'm gonna spend all of it.
All right, so you get to. Fan mail does carry over, just so you know, from game to game. But
No, I'm gonna spend all of it.
all right, so you get 2 more.
This is a big one for me.
It is a big one. All right, you have 5 cards.
Now I'm the one with 5 cards.
Uh-huh. All right, ready?
I'm gonna do it all in one.
Me
Doesn't
too.
matter when Austin gets his traditional ace.
No,
Yeah.
did not get an ace this time.
Flip.
Oh, you
ace.
got an ace, but and you got more reds. This is a yes
Yep.
and
This is yes and.
yes
Second
and.
It's
yes
hard to
and of the
flip for me.
entire
weird.
game.
Wait, now it
Sorry, what?
unflipped. It just unflipped. There it goes. Boom.
I tried to flip it and that didn't work.
Okay, that's an ace of diamonds. It did when you flipped it. It flipped, which is weird. So you get what you want and you keep it together. Tell me what this looks like. What is your big spiel? What is your big appeal to the alien council and alien culture about Earth?
This is the tag at the end of the episode.
Absolutely, yeah.
This is after the line that I really liked about the like maybe someone will see you waving at them. if
Yeah,
you
right.
wave.
Yeah.
I think it might even be okay, what happens if it's in the episode? I'm basically calling out the council and being like, they send us down here with cheaters, someone is helping them behind the scenes. Like this is not a fair process. I could do that.
Right. Yeah, you
It could
totally
also
could.
be a private note that I send. No,
I like it
let's
as
do
a big
on the
thing. Yeah,
tape.
you run the whole damn thing, right? So you can go as hard as you want.
Yeah. On the tape, on the record. The Shadow Council sending cheaters to Earth to ensure its destruction. We need a independent third party. That's as hard as Keith wants.
That's as
An
hard.
independent third party.
Yeah, that's all. To evaluate what's happening.
To evaluate, well, I believe it is self-evident. It will reveal itself through the course of a fair process that this planet should not be destroyed because we think that they aren't interesting enough.
Do you have a tag? Do you have like a final like a line that is like your big closing, not argument, but like your...
You all saw the big telescope. If you do something that you wouldn't be proud to be caught doing, maybe they'll see.
Nice.
Space Santa Claus.
God.
The big cow moos in the background.
Right, yeah, totally. Oh, I should add 2 more because I spent 2. There we go. Well, no, I only spent 1. All right, there we go. I got 2 budget back because 2 of your fan mail things were a success. So I got 2 more budget back. Going in now to the final scene. Frankie, what do we see for you? Where are we closing out here?
I'm not sure. Because I want a bit of a cliffhanger in case we had to bring in John Lithgow.
Right. Is this a Polly Patio scene? Is this a Sal scene? Is it the Sal scene before you go in to see what happens? Like it's you and Sal in a waiting room for Polly Patio's office. And then where we'll end is you going in and us not knowing.
Sure.
You know?
Yeah, it's lower stakes than the thing I had, which was
what was the thing you had?
Just like the crazy drive down the curvy, wet road and yelling into a poorly working car phone and
yeah, that's a nightmare. That's everything gonna end the pilot.
Yeah, and the tires squeal and it goes to black.
Jeez. Well, listen, I'll still have the denouement, so if this stuff goes really bad, we can go there.
Sure.
No, yeah, let's do you and Sal. Have you told Sal that you might lose your job?
No, I guess not.
Slipped my mind.
So I put this in the wrong space.
You don't necessarily tell your kid if you're going to get fired.
No, totally. Here's what I'm going to say. I think he's a smart kid. He goes. Also, I think I've just realized is 2 years ago, whenever this was, I was just playing Benjamin when I played this character.
Just keep that going.
Yeah, I got it. He's like little Benjamin. Yeah, it's the same cast. We cast the same kid.
He's too old now.
Yeah, definitely. Right. Well,
part of why they're bringing in John Lithgow.
Right. Yeah. He goes, Dad, you seemed really nervous when we were in Bloomington. You didn't enjoy your mozzarella sticks at all.
Well, that's not a proper fun ties or whatever we called it.
Appetizers.
No, there was a second one.
Funditizers. They're fundamental.
The second one was appetizers.
Happytizers. Happy teasers. Is everything okay?
I don't. They're talking about not renewing my contract, and also shortening my contract.
Well, that would mean you couldn't be the coach anymore.
I also couldn't be a player.
Oh. Well, that wouldn't be good.
Well, I mean, we'd always figure something out, or...
Could you go back to the majors? I never got to see you play there.
Yeah, I'm just not good enough anymore.
But you threw all those pitches at Bloomington, and you didn't lose.
Yeah, and if those dorks in Bloomington end up being the New York Yankees, then maybe.
Well, he's like, lost a little bit. I think how you deal with like his fear is going to be the result of, or well, this is the crisis. Is this plot? Is this character? It's probably character, right? Because we're not playing out whether or not you get
Right, we're not playing out the
fired.
result of being fired.
And if what you want is him to be happy, then that's about your impulse control more than about like I can't imagine a yes, but your impulse is provoked here that is actually a yes. Because your impulse, which is being unsupportive, would make it a no with him.
Right, it's tricky because this kid isn't going to get recast. He's going to make it to series no matter what.
Probably.
Yeah,
So yeah, it's a character scene, let's say.
yeah.
I'm gonna spend 2, so that means I have 3 cards.
Just going to roll with it.
You gonna what?
I'm just going to take 2.
Oh boy, really? Oh,
I'll give Art a fan mail.
there you go. Boop. And I will add 2 cards or 2 dice, two tokens to the audience pool because I spent 2 budget. So Art, you have 3 now.
Who's that?
Keith just dropped. Oh,
Hello?
he's back.
Oh, Keith, you're
Hi.
back. Hi.
Sorry, yeah, I was having mic and hearing troubles. I guess probably just hearing troubles. I muted myself. I missed the second half of Art's scene
We
after.
are still wrapping it up. So
Oh, okay.
we are Art and Sal were talking. Sal is nervous about his dad's future.
Yeah.
Art, you're not going to spend your last fan mail? Hold on to that one.
No, it carries over.
It does carry
Yeah.
over. All right,
For the
ready
series.
to flip?
Yeah.
Flip. Got the ace of
Ace.
clubs. You see, this is live video. People can see. People can
Yeah.
see. People
Yeah.
can see that I am not cheating.
How could you? It's computers.
If I wanted to cheat, I could cheat. I could. If I was cheating, I would be cheating for you. I'd be cheating for you.
For
You want to try that now?
It's too late. It's too late. We can't go back.
So what were the stakes of this? I heard
This
I
is
was-
character, so this is no, you give into your impulse, and there are consequences.
Oh my god.
I don't want this ending. This isn't a thing. People are like, Austin, you're cheating. This is depressing.
Yeah, this is now, you know what this means. You know what this bad dad moment means is that this is now prestige TV. An unlikable protagonist
That we're supposed to
like anyway.
100%.
Wait, we could just go the other way.
Which is
This could be like it could be like a comedy. We could go like a hard comedy.
Well, the thing
Turn
is that
to this.
if Lithgow is in it, as far as the fiction goes, I think Lithgow would just be in the second half of this episode. Would start as Lithgow.
that isn't the fiction.
No, they're still writing this character off. It's contractually.
Oh, you're saying it would be a new character.
yeah.
The Lithgow character would be kind of a carbon copy of the character, but named different.
Yeah, name different, like very similar.
Right, a different coach, not a player coach.
The
Maybe
example I gave you was the when New Girl went to series, they lost whatever Wayans brother they had.
yes, there was a Wayne brother on the New Girl, and they replaced him with a different black dude to play the black dude on that show. Winston is the name of the character, right?
Yeah, but they play different characters.
Yeah, they are
Coach and
different
Winston
characters.
were
Coach is a different
characters.
person, right? Yes. Is he ever brought
Well,
up
and
again?
Yeah, he because he left for a different show, and that show didn't
Oh.
make it.
Okay.
So he like comes back for like long stretches.
Oh wow, cool, good for him. He was good on the pilot. I remember being like, he was good. I've not watched the New Girl since season 2. So, anyway, we should play out. No, you give into your impulse, which is being unsupportive, and there are consequences.
But I'm saying like the consequence for this is like Sal runs away, and then like, you know, a piano falls on Frankie.
Sal goes, "Whatever happens, Dad, I love you." And then you walk into the room and it explodes.
10 million people tuned in to watch the pilot episode of.
An
Or, like,
ending you don't want to miss.
or, like, a, 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 or, like, a baseball burst through the window because there was batting practice going on, and it hits Frankie right in the crotch, and he collapses, and the show ends. I'm just going like, oh.
Now that's what I call loaded balls.
Aliens, baseball, classic sensibilities, the new hit show you won't want to miss.
Ow, my beanbag.
Then that's why they call him Frankie Beanbag Bianchi. What we need to actually pick a decision here for this total failure.
Oh, is that not real?
I don't know that showed Frankie being unsupportive.
Well, if it were...
I can guess at the joke you said that got cut off. It was about a cup.
My whole bit good?
Yeah, It's been bad tonight, Art. It's like the worst it's been in a long time.
Yeah, it definitely is worse than usual.
I wonder if it's because of YouTube.
What's up with YouTube?
Just having it open.
My bandwidth?
Oh. Yeah, just did pause on that. So what do you do? Give me unsupportive dad.
What was the last?
I think
line?
the last thing he was just kind of looking at you, unsure, looking for what's the word I'm looking for? Not just approval, but there's a specific word that I'm looking for, like when you're looking to be buoyed, looking for. I almost had it again. Looking to be insured, looking to be
reassured.
Reassured. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, reassurance. Thank you, chat. Just big puppy dog eyes looking up at you.
Yeah. You know what's a bad weakness to pick is unsupportive.
Yeah.
It really sucks.
It does.
You're
playing the villain,
Yeah.
It really is like you've got to pick something that you would be okay acting like half of the time.
Yes. Yeah.
And in cases where you're very unlucky, like all of us, the last 2 episodes of this, more than half the time.
Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's why John Lithgow's impulse is going to be slapstick comedy.
I just get wacky.
Overacting, wide eyes. My issue is that my eyes get too big.
My impulse is acting like one of the Three Stooges.
Stage acting while on TV. Being in Orange County.
Is the biggest dagger twist here. He looks up at you. His eyes are big, and you just walk away.
He looks up, and Frankie is checking his phone. And it's like, oh shit, ESPN called me beanbag again. What is even going on? Oh, gotta talk to the team. Look, I gotta go talk to the team publicist. You tell Paulie that I'm gonna be right back, and I'll catch you later. I'll see you at dinner.
Okay. And then it's like looks at you leaving, looks back at the Paulie's door. This now makes it look like he's gonna take your job. This fall on ABC. Little Kid Coach. They call him the Little Beanbag. Yeah, and I think we just play out with like whatever the song by the Who we licensed is, as we zoom out to reveal Bluff City and the baseball stadium, and no one
knows what it like.
Yeah, exactly. And we see the crashed alien ship or the landed alien ship out in the marshes, and we see like all the sets. We see the Chez, and the converted motel apartments and or actually, yeah, do we get the if it's that song art, do we do like the slow pan of everyone like in the locker room, like all in their own places, and then yes.
Can I pitch the Who song that is ripe for premium TV usage?
Yes, of course.
Eminence Front.
Well, I don't know how that song goes.
It's synthy and ambient until the vocals kick in really late. So that's premium TV right there.
That's premium TV.
Yeah, but it's
the vocals hit with the credits hit, right? Like
it's about living the rock star lifestyle, but also being a million miles away in your head.
Oh, it's this one. Yeah, this is a good song.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is very synthy. Yeah, this is it. It's this, and we're getting like a long, like walking
40 seconds in. That's the time.
Yeah, the whole thing's playing. You get the like we're gonna get sued. The camera's like going through all the back areas of the stadium. We get Keith in his mini locker room thing. We get a shot of the mascot helmet coming off of Llewellyn to reveal their mothy head and wings. We get Bianchi just going to the car, like forgetting that his son is in Paulie's office. And when we get this big long shot of the rest of like Bluff City in the distance, and everything kind of comes to a close as the camera rises above the city, and we fade to credits. And that's it. That's Aliens in the Outfield. And then it says, Aliens in the Outfield, the pilot. And then the Who sues us. I didn't mean to turn it louder. I'm sorry to the Who. It's a good song. Anyway. Good game.
Yeah.
Rough ending.
Yeah.
At least it has an ending now, though.
That's premium TV, baby. What is this? What year does this take place in? It's the start of premium TV.
It is the start of premium TV. You're totally right.
This is Bluff City's Sopranos.
It does have Bluff City's James Gandolfini in it. So
you said 2008, right? That's the year Breaking Bad premiered.
That sounds right.
Yep.
A fun thing I just noticed
yesterday because I was trying to argue that Dexter was the beginning of premium TV.
That's not true.
It was 2006.
That's still not true.
It's
The
not?
Sopranos was started in the 90s. The World Trade Center is in that show.
I didn't hear the word premium TV until after Breaking Bad started.
Prestige TV. I mean, Prestige TV broke with Breaking.
Sorry, I think peak TV is specifically the phrase that I was.
We cannot get into this argument because we will have this argument. I'm not here to argue on TV. I'm not here to debate. But if people go out there and do their own, I advise that people go out there and do their research.
It started with the X-Files, actually. My take.
Started with Twin Peaks, actually.
Oh.
It started with Dallas, actually. It started with the serialized storytelling of Charles Dickens, actually.
Started with the Lumiere brothers, actually.
Have you heard a little something called The Tale of Genji, actually?
No.
Oh, it's the first book. It's the first novel by Murasaki Shikibu.
Yeah, I think. Yeah.
Anyway, it's kind of episodic. Definitely predates Mad Men. Anyway, we're done. Thank you for joining us today on Live at the Table. I'm glad we revisited these characters. We will talk off mic about whether or not we want to revisit them, continue to revisit them, and play this game in the future. Primetime Adventures definitely shines when you're playing it for a season. The season is 5 episodes, which, given the rate that we're playing, would be 10 Live at the Table games, which is a lot. So we either need to get way faster, or
I think that after getting a full episode under our belts, I think that we could get an episode per session in.
I don't think that's true, especially if we add another player. If we add another player, there's no way.
That's true.
I think we can get 3 acts in a single session, and I think that is part of the problem. But we should talk about it. I'm not opposed to continuing to do it because I do want to see things like screen presence play a bigger role. So, like, for people who don't know, how everyone got 2 cards every scene, that changes based on screen presence. So, like, we would be scheduled to have oh my god, next episode is going to be miserable. Because what we're scheduled to have is for Llewellyn to be at 2, and then for both Frankie and Keith to be at 1 screen presence. Miserable.
Which is
Miserable
one-
episode.
Which means 1 card.
Yeah, if you're not spending traits or fan mail. Just failures all the time. That's the thing we would revisit probably and maybe realign now that we know how important that stuff is. You know? So.
And then there's a thing, it has to add up to a certain number, right? That's why
You get
we have to
2
have-
2s, 2 1s, and 1 5 is the way it works.
Okay.
1 3.
Or sorry, 1 3. Yes, not 1 5. That would be... You would definitely win. All right, you can find me on Twitter at Austin_Walker. You can find the show at twitter.com/friends_table. And as always, thank you for supporting us. If you're like listening with a friend or just hear this episode randomly, you can support us by going to friendsathetable.cash. We are catching up on a bunch of stuff right now. I should have another drawing maps going up this weekend, I hope. We're getting close to recording Partisan, which is exciting for me. The road to Partisan will continue to go up. I think this week's episode will probably go up a little bit later than normal. Because last week's, because I need to still edit it, and I'll do that tonight and tomorrow.
We got a bluff coming down the pipe, right?
We do. We're going to record the second bluff game this week, I think tomorrow night, and that is going to give me enough to write the intro to the first bluff game that we already recorded. We're very close on that. I just need to get that recorded. The intro recorded, and I just don't have it. I just fully do not have it, and so I need to see a little bit of what this next episode is in order to make that happen. It turns out going back to Bluff City is really hard. This hopefully will have shaken off some of that rust for me, and will get me back in the right place. I'm very excited.
Black again.
He's not in the next episode for reasons that I can't say without spoiling what the next episode's situation is. So.
I don't even know what the next episode situation was. That wasn't even on purpose on my part.
Okay, well, Millennium Black's great, but he ain't in this next one. I love Millennium Black. Anyway, I guess he could be. Anyway, so that's coming up. We will have... also, the podcast version of this will be up late because I just realized I'm not recording the OBS locally, so I have to wait until I can download the full audio from YouTube and then fuck with that instead. So that's a pain in the ass. But yeah, that'll be up after that. Anything else? Any other big announcements? We still have posters available, friendsathetable.shop. Anyone else have any things? Do you want to do plugs one more time for your stuff? Keith.
Hi, my name is Keith J. Carberry. My Twitter is at Keith J. Carberry. You should watch Run Button. The Run Button Patreon right now is doing Shenmue 2 at a rapid clip. We've never played through a game faster because we do want to get to Shenmue 3, which I expect will be a public Let's Play.
I hope so.
1 and 2 on the Patreon, and then the new one, 3, out for free on the YouTube. But the Patreon's good, and don't care what time Peak TV started, as long as it was already going when Dexter was on, then I win. That's all that I care about.
It's definitely going by then. I want to recommend that people watch as we get towards Partisan, you could go watch Run Button's Gundam. What is it? The
08 MS games.
MS games.
We're playing 8, not through, but we're playing 8 Mobile Suit games.
8 Gundam games going up on the youtube.com/runbutton for that. Andy, how about you?
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter at Captain Trash, and you can listen to my other show, Emoji Drome, on your podcast app of choice.
And Art.
You can find me on Twitter at Tebbel, and I would contend that any definition of peak TV that includes Dexter would have to include The Wire, which started in the spring of 2002.
That's going to do it for us. Have a great remainder of your week, everybody. I hope you enjoy the rest of our episodes this week. Bye.